Have you ever experienced a moment when the wisdom of your ancestors illuminated a new path to joy in your life? I'm Asha Wilkerson, and as someone who has navigated and is currently navigating the realms of ancestral communication and intuitive coaching, I'm here to share how these connections can profoundly enhance your joy. In today's video, I'll share with you my journey of cultivating joy through ancestral guidance and transformative moments that highlight the impact of these connections. Now, before we dive in, don't forget to check out the link in the description for the 5-day Joy Activation Challenge. This challenge will help you connect with your ancestors to tap into the wisdom and the joy that they have and want for you. Now, about 3 years ago, I think it was 2022, it was still pandemic times. I went to Ghana in West Africa with my school for a conference for educators of Black students and for Black educators. As part of the conference, we took a tour to what some people call slave castles, but what a lot of us refer to as the slave dungeons, the places where enslaved Africans were held before they were trafficked across the Atlantic Ocean for the transatlantic slave trade. And in each of these dungeons, there is a door of no return, a door where enslaved Africans were marched out onto the ships to be taken across the water. And so a number of people go to visit these sites to pay homage and to just understand what it was like to be standing in a dungeon like this and walking out into the ocean, not knowing what was next for your life. And as I was looking out of the door of no return and just uttering a prayer to my ancestors and just connecting with the moment, it dawned on me that all my people have ever wanted was to be free. And if I could figure out how to get myself free, then I could help others get free as well. And that freedom didn't mean literal freedom, like free from incarceration. That meant the freedom of my mind. That meant the freedom of finances. That meant the freedom to live where I wanted to live and to do the things that I wanted to do, and the freedom to just be who and how I wanted to be. And I knew right then that my mission had become to get myself free. So then I could be a light for other people's paths to get themselves free as well. Now, I think that that was profound for me as a Black American person, a Black woman born in America, because so often we as people of color, first gen college students, first gen immigrants, first gen millionaires in the family, the first generation to break a cycle, or even the second generation to break a cycle, often feels a tremendous amount of pressure and responsibility to make the family proud or to continue the family legacy. I had gone to law school. I had become a college professor. I was on my track to retiring early. And I realized that those things were not the freedom that my ancestors were talking about. That wasn't the freedom that was given to me while I was standing in the door of no return. And I had to reconcile with, what do they want for me? They being my family and my mentors and society at large. What is that vision versus what is the ancestors' vision for me? And it took a little while. I had to take some steps and I had to, have some starts and some pullbacks and to keep going. But being free, becoming free became my mission. And as I started to make decisions that aligned with the freedom that I had envisioned for myself, joy came. One of those moves was moving to Portugal. It was leaving almost everything that I knew behind, leaving behind my full-time job, leaving behind my retirement plan, leaving behind my poor mom who was in Portland, Oregon, all by herself, and, leaving behind my friends and my community because I had an intuitive nudge that Lisbon, Portugal was where I was supposed to be. And when I tell you that aligning my actions with my vision for freedom, that has completely transformed how I feel on a daily basis, how I feel about myself, and the experience of joy that I feel. There is no more self-abandoning to make the masses happy. Now, the masses could be family, the masses can also be friends. It could just be one friend who wants me to come out that night and I don't feel like it. But aligning myself and making decisions that fit my framework, my vision for joy has been tremendously transformational. Now, when you receive a message from your ancestors, like I did, about freedom, not everybody's going to understand. Remember, my family has a vision, your family has a vision for you, and it may not align with the vision that you have for yourself. So, I told my mom that I was going to be embarking on this spiritual healing journey, that I was going to become a coach in the healing space, leaving behind law, leaving behind business that I had done for a number of years, and I was quitting my full-time job. And as my mom, who is very, very risk averse, she was a little worried. She was a little worried about what I was going to do. And we continued to have these conversations. And as she saw the joy level rise in my life and saw that I was more and more okay than I had ever been in the US, like emotionally and spiritually, she began to become excited for me. Her fear abated and she was just so excited for me. And at one point, it dawned on me that I am now living the life that she felt like she was not able to live. And I told her that one day. I said, you really felt like you had to make the decision to provide for the family. You didn't trust this path of intuition and astrology and tarot, even though she was doing all of these things, the same things that I'm doing now. She didn't feel like she could make that choice because she didn't have a family that she could turn back to if everything fell apart. She knew that she had these career goals. And for her generation, baby boomers, the safe thing to do was to get a good government job with a good pension and retire in a house that you own. And like, that was it. You made it. And now I am able to live out the life that she didn't get to choose. And I told her that. And it was such a beautiful full circle moment. And my mom is not an ancestor, but I think that that vision on some level was probably given to her by her ancestors. And it was also given to me by my ancestors. And even though she wasn't able to complete it, they planted the seed with her. And then they replanted the seed with me. She helped to nurture and water it. And I grew it into this garden. And then now my life is filled with intuitive led and ancestrally connected decisions that have sprouted so much joy in my life. But it's not enough to just talk about your vision. It's not enough to just talk about ancestral connections. Not enough to just talk about joy. You actually have to engage in some practices that are going to help build it up. So the things that I like to do on a regular basis are to journal. And it's not just to get the thoughts out of my head, and it's not just to mind the thoughts and change the ones that aren't working. Journaling also helps me see a vision. When I free write, I don't edit what comes up and I just let it flow. I intend to connect with my ancestors before I start. I do connect with my ancestors, and oftentimes when I'm sitting in meditation before I write, that's when the messages are coming through and I grab my notebook and I just start writing. I write and I write and I write. I also light candles and say prayers to my ancestors. I will also walk around like a good old-fashioned prayer aloud saying, thank you. This is what we're working on. I want to co-create with you. We are here. We are grateful. I love you. All of that stuff. So journaling, candles, prayer, and shifting your perspective that instead of just getting something from your ancestors and instead of just asking for the wisdom, remember that you are co-creating this life with them. And when you talk to them like they are your partner in crime, like they are your partner in joy, like they are your partner in life, like they are your partner in creation, your communication channel will strengthen and you will begin to count on them and communicate with them on a regular basis like they are your bestie sitting on your shoulder. And it is absolutely amazing. Now, as you engage with ancestral wisdom, I want you to understand that there are different levels of ancestors. There are your recent ancestors, your middle ancestors, 400, 500, 600 years back, and then there's your ancient ancestors, thousands of years back. And each level has a different memory to them. Each level has a different set of advice. My recent ancestors were here in my lifetime or recent lifetime, and the advice and the comfort that they give me is based on this world that we're living in now. My middle and my distant ancestors, they give me a vision that is bigger than my current situation. They give me a vision of remembering what it's like to be in joy, remembering what it's like to be whole prior to colonization, remembering what it's like to be connected, mind, body, and spirit. And so, as you choose to engage with your ancestors and as you open that line of communication, I want you to think about not just the ones that you know by name, but intend to connect with the energy of those that you don't know that come hundreds to thousands of years before you. Those ancestors that I connected with in Ghana, they are the middle ancestors who knew life before colonization or in the midst of colonization. My grandparents, they knew life when I was alive. But those distant ancestors, those are those healed, happy, whole, and altruistic ancestors that want nothing but the best, and they have their experience on this earth was so long ago that they are no longer affected by the present circumstances. So make sure when you engage with your ancestors that you're connecting at all levels, because each level has a different set of wisdom that you can benefit from. Connecting to my ancestors has brought me so much joy, and I believe that connecting to your ancestors will bring the same kind of joy to you. So I encourage you to take advantage of the free 5-day joy activation challenge. I will walk you through on daily videos and journal prompts and emails on how to connect with your ancestors for a particular purpose and how to get in touch with that feeling of joy. This is for you, particularly if you feel like joy is elusive, if joy is over there, or if you feel some kind of guilt about connecting to joy because there is so much struggle presently or in your recent memory. This is for you. Go ahead and click the link in the description and it will come right to your inbox. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel so you can continue to get insights on a regular basis. I would love to hear about how you are planning to connect with joy or how you do connect with your ancestors and with joy in the comments. I cannot wait to chat with you.